Today's episode is going to be about this big, beautiful thing right behind me, the wall. My goal for the episode, which is quite ambitious, I'm not entirely sure if I'm actually going to be able to do it, but my goal is to build the skeleton of this wall all the way around. Which, as I stated a few episodes ago, is going to be about 700 stacks of concrete. Which is just like a stupid amount. I'm going to need 350 stacks of sand and 350 stacks of gravel to get this thing done. And I don't have that much. Granted, I do have a lot of gravel. I've got multiple double chests of gravel. So we've got plenty of that, but sand, we are lacking severely. I don't even think we have a full double chest worth of sand anymore. However, I've turned what we had left into concrete powder and put it in here. As you can see, we've got, I mean, just a ridiculous amount of concrete powder in here. This is just crazy. I'm gonna get busy turning all this powder into concrete, and I'll check back in later once that's done. And once again, I'm genuinely surprised at how efficient this thing is. I mean, I've got about 90 stacks of concrete in here, and I totally expected this to take about 2 or 3 hours to do, but it literally took about 15 minutes. That is incredible. I'm gonna go ahead and put these 90 stacks of blocks to use. My guess is that we get around the corner and to about there. I think we're gonna get to that block right there. And you know the drill, it's time-lapse time. Surprisingly, I was actually super close with my guess. I think I guessed one of these blocks around here. I mean, I might have been spot on. But yeah, as you can see, 90 stacks of concrete blocks got us from here all the way to there. And unfortunately, from here, we still have probably about 150 blocks to go that direction. But it already does look really cool from the inside. It really does look cool. And I'm actually super eager to get some texture put into this thing. My original plan was to build the entire skeleton of the wall first, and then to gradually add the texture as I went along the entire wall. But I can't wait. I want to get the texture in now. So I'm gonna go grab together all the blocks that are needed to actually texturize this thing. I'm not really sure what to expect as far as how much progress I can make with the current amount of blocks that I have, specifically the light blue wool. That's what I'm most worried about. But hopefully it's enough to where we can start to get a rough idea of how this wall is gonna look from the inside. Oh, and just in case you were curious, this farm has completely filled up all of my storage, so I've actually had to make a little lava pool to start burning this stuff, because I literally can't hold enough of it. There's just something about farms that make you too many items that just makes you feel so good. This is what I've gathered for now. It's definitely not enough to make any sizable dent in this thing, but it should be enough to at least get a rough idea of what it's gonna start to look like. And literally all I'm doing is just spamming my mouse wheel button and spamming right click. And it kind of creates a cool, just random pattern. And literally about an hour and a half later, that's how far I got. That's it. But I mean, it does look incredible. It does look really good. I mean, just comparatively, the difference between this section and this section is ridiculous. And I mean, just look at it at night. It looks so good. This is going to end up being a much bigger project than I anticipated, because considering just that little tiny bit took an hour and a half, and that's only for one side of the wall. I mean, I haven't even touched the other side of the wall. So that section of the wall is about 3 hours of work if I were to do it on the other side as well. If that's not kind of stupid, then I don't know what is. And as always, shaders just take this thing to a whole new level. I mean, wow. Flying in and seeing this wall, it just looks so incredibly good. I just love the almost chaotic feel to it, because so far everything has been extremely structured. For example, my tower is just like a perfect circle with perfect circles going all the way up it, and then this wall is just gonna be pure chaos. As of right now, the outer wall and our actual tower itself don't match super well, just because our tower is pretty much entirely white and our wall is almost entirely blue. But once I start to get this middle tower built up and start to add a little color to this thing, I think it's gonna look extremely good next to one another. So I was working on building up this part of the wall, and I flew out to see what everything looked like, and I noticed there's a llama A trader llama just somehow chilling on my wall, and the other one is way down there. Well, he's stuck. I need to give him a name tag so I can name him and he'll never despawn. If you have a good idea for a name for this guy, put it down in the comments and I'm probably just gonna pick the funniest one down there and that's what I'll name him. Dang, okay, definitely the more of this you put in here, the better it looks. It looks incredible as well once you kind of start to walk up closer to it to truly kind of grasp the scale of it, and it just looks absolutely mega. And we still have our llama friend up there too. And now, just for the sake of saying I have a section of my wall completely complete, I'm gonna do that to this side of the wall as well. And for those of you who may be curious as to my method for doing this, you're about to find out because we're gonna time lapse it, baby. And what you've just witnessed in the span of about 45 seconds took me about 2 hours to do. That was about 2 hours of work, which is stupid. For whatever reason, this part of the wall is a little bit tougher to do than this end side. I don't know if it has to do with these little ledges that were just harder to manage on this side of the wall, but it did take me about 30 minutes longer to do this side than it did the other side, which kind of sucks because I was hoping that the more I... Excuse me, sir. Anyways, I was hoping that the more of this I would do, the quicker it would go, but that doesn't seem to be the case. In fact, it seemed like the more of this I did, the pickier I started to get with which blocks went where. I found myself kind of cycling through and placing specific blocks somewhere, whereas on this side, I was literally just placing blocks wherever I could. But regardless of time spent, it does look really good. I mean, it looks really incredible, especially from like a top-down view. It just looks so much bulkier than it does over here. This looks black, nasty, bland, disgusting. And then over here, it's like, wow, you know? Like, this guy spent a lot of time on this wall. Like, this is impressive. Scale-wise, this is by far the biggest thing I think I've ever built in Minecraft. Normally, I build, like, 3 little houses and then I get bored and quit. But not this time. This time, I'm going big, baby. This thing is freaking huge. But however cool this part of the wall may be, I do want to stick to my original plan for the episode and get this white skeleton built all the way around so I can kind of understand the size of this. I did some math and I think this is roughly a 1/16 of my total wall. I finished about 1/4 of one side. So yeah, I have to do this about 16 more times. Which, considering that took me about 3.5 hours, this is gonna take a lot longer than I think I originally imagined. I mean, I imagined it taking a long time to begin with, but I don't think I imagined it being quite this long. First priority is I'm gonna have to get a lot of sand because, as you can tell, I've got a lot of gravel and very little sand. I think this is all. That's not even sand. That's sandstone. That's sandstone too. I have 1 piece of sand. Great. I've got 1 piece of sand, and I need probably like 400 stacks of concrete. So yeah, priority number 1 is gonna be to go get a crap ton of sand. I've gone out and mined out not only just 2 double chests worth of sand, but I've got a little bit extra just scattered out throughout these chests. As well as, if we fly over yonder real fast, I've already converted a decent amount of concrete powder into concrete. As you can see, we have a lot. We have a lot, and there's still about a double chest worth up here that I need to convert. So I'm gonna go ahead and spare you the boredom of watching me build this entire wall, because it's gonna take a few hours. I anticipate about 3 to 4 hours worth of building, but I'm gonna give you all the great privilege of watching a Laney Boy time lapse. Let's do it. Holy crap, I think my hand might have carpal tunnel, but we did it. 6 hours later, we have completed the skeleton of this wall. It really did take a lot longer than I thought it would. I think earlier in the episode, I had guessed it would take about 2 to 3 hours to finish, and it took 6. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, and my hand is genuinely cramping. It hurts. Anyways, I think this is going to be a great spot to end today's episode. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.